Have you ever wanted to be someone else just for a short period of time? Have you ever been in a situation, a difficult decision-making situation, that you wanted a friend to be there and consult them and see what their reaction would be to that situation? Now, if you think about where we are going with data, if we all agree that we are generating terabytes of data on a regular basis, if we look at the promises of machine intelligence and machine learning, that they can look at the data and understand patterns and context, if we look at the promises of GPUs and CPUs and quantum computing, that they can process that information very quickly, I think we have reached a level of digital evolution that we can now go and create a digital version of ourselves. My name is Hossein Rahnama. I live and work in the paradox of academia and entrepreneurship, which is a crazy paradox. My company, Flybits, is very much focused on building context-aware customer engagement tools for large companies. In fact, we have a great German investors. Robert Bosch is one of our key investors. And the focus of Flybits is very much on personalization, digital personalization. But in my academic world, I'm thinking about what's next after personalization. Going from this very egocentric internet, which is all about personalizing things for me, to an internet of others, that things can become more sociocentric and can become relevant to all of us. So I'm working at MIT Media Lab around a notion called borrowable identities. A notion that we can share our identities and share our expertise with each other and build monetization models around it. If I come to you now and say, can I borrow your identity for a few minutes? Probably I'm going to scare you a bit. But that's the foundation of my work for the coming years. The purpose of this is that we all share great knowledge. And if we can use data science to share these identities with each other for the purpose of creating a collective intelligence, I think that's going to be the new generation of internet, that we all control and own our data, and we lend our expertise to each other to build a collective intelligence. Let me share some examples with you. Let's say, for the purpose of education, I'm looking at a document or a content, a controversial content, and I would like to view different people's view with different lenses to view their understanding of that content. Now I can do that with a component that we created called the lens. If you think about Twitter, if all of us follow the 2bAhead hashtag, we all see the same thing. But one of our patents is a curly bracket called the lens. So if we follow 2bAhead lens, we all see things that are relevant to us based on our context. So we are building technologies that allows people to view the world from others' people's points of views. Let's say instead of consulting Madam Siri from Apple or Mrs. Cortana from Microsoft or Alexa from Amazon, I can now consult Bob from accounting or George from legal. So I can have a social networks, including these social constructs, and I can activate their personas in my Siri and ask the question from them. And I have built a trust network, which allows them to share their expertise with me, and I can leverage that as a knowledge base. Do we have any lawyer in the crowd? Lawyers are very expensive. As a professor of computer science, probably I cannot hire them on a regular basis. But lawyers can now create their digital constructs, and I can borrow their identity for 1/10 of a cost and really consult practical daily things that they provide advice on. And this is the type of a social network that we are building. We are also helping celebrities and politicians to be able to create their identity constructs and allow people to consult them. Let's say figuring out what a celebrity would do when he or she comes to Berlin. I would like to follow their path. I would like to view Berlin from their point of view, not necessarily through a centralized knowledge base like Google or Facebook, but through people that I trust. That is the foundation of our work. The notion of augmented eternity also is the fact that we use the same set of technology and tools that we created, this well-orchestrated set of microservices that they bring content and data together, and enabling us to create a digital version of ourselves. Not that because we are very egoistic, but our goal is to allow each one of us to leave a digital legacy for our future generations. So if you want to consult someone when you're no longer around, you have created enough data and a trust, privacy-oriented network that you can share some of that component with them. You don't need to share your complete identity, but I can share my professional identity when it comes to a particular subject. But then I can share my family persona with my daughter. And those are constructs within constructs that allows people to consult our digital avatars using a trust network. So our vision for our work is that as the internet is going from very egoistic, essentially going from the Internet of Things to Internet of Us, the goal that we have is to provide an open source framework called the Augmented Eternity that every single one of us can contribute to a knowledge base using technologies like blockchain, gaining the ability to own and control our own data, contributing to this notion of open algorithms that you can truly see how the data is being shared and is being consumed, and then contribute to the formation of a global knowledge base in which our digital surrogates can communicate with each other and create a collective intelligence. Thank you very much.